What's up, Juan?
What's up, everybody? This is your girl, Miss Neka, and you are tuned in to TAN TV, the African American network where we have local feel. With a global reach, you can tune in anywhere, anytime, from any place, whatever order you want to put that in with TAN TV. All you have to do is download the app so you can make sure that you stay updated with all of the new shows, new information, and the news in your area that you want to know. So, right now, I am sitting in at the historic Carver Community Culture Center, Joe Long Theater, and I'm sitting next to the wonderful Miss Cassandra. How are you doing, darling?
I'm doing good.
So I'm excited for a few reasons. I've known you forever. You've been here for a very long time at the Carver.
Almost 16 years.
She is the Carver.
I am just one of the many. But yeah, it was nice to be able to step into this role after Yanni retired.
I'm excited. I'm really excited for you. And again, I'm so serious about. I believe that when people are running, especially a community building, because that's what this is. You know, this is what's built for the community. That you should know and love the community that it was built for, and I believe that you do. So I'm happy that you're here.
Thank you.
Tell me how the Carver has grown in the last 16 years that you've been here.
Oh my gosh. So much has happened in 16 years. I mean, working for 12 years alongside Yanni was just really an honor and a pleasure. And she did so much amazing work in her time here and continues to serve the Carver, in so many ways. What I've really seen over the past 16 years is, I wouldn't characterize it as a change so much as it is an evolution of the things that the Carver has always been known for. I mean, the Carver has always been deeply rooted in the community, both the Black community and here on the East Side, and that's remained true throughout. The Carver's always been known as a place where you can come and experience art and culture in a way that you might not see anywhere else in San Antonio. And so again, I think what we've seen over the past, in the time that I've been here, is just carrying on that legacy and trying to build upon that legacy, which, I know you mentioned we're sitting in the Joe Long Theater, which of course is named after Joe, who was the first executive director. And so I feel like all of us since have just been building on the legacy, that she started.
Yeah, and one thing that you mentioned that I think that I don't ever want anybody to miss. And I'm not gonna say you didn't know, but I don't ever want anybody to miss. This is where culture is bred. Art, theater, dance, music, you know, like art.
Yeah, I mean,
forms, you know,
you're right. And again, you know, thankfully, all of San Antonio has evolved, but there was a time where what you see at the Carver, you were not going to experience at all
anywhere else.
So you certainly weren't seeing Black artists on other stages. You weren't experiencing jazz. You weren't seeing contemporary dance. And because of the vision of Joe and everyone that worked alongside her and everyone since, and that commitment, now San Antonio has a thriving jazz community, and I think one of the things that really makes San Antonio unique, there are now more venues that are presenting contemporary dance. What I really have always admired, even before I started working at the Carver almost 16 years ago, what I've always admired about this place is that it really has had this history of identifying artists, supporting artists that didn't have other places for their voices to be heard and their stories to be told. And so that's something that has always been very important to me, specifically because my background's in theater, so I'm all about how do we continue to find ways to tell stories and share our experiences. So that's something that I think continues to make this place really special. Not only can you see great shows, we're commissioning work, we're working with local artists to make sure that they can evolve in their careers.
So let's start right there, because you had said that before you said this, that it was supporting things that might necessarily be on other stages. So way back then, it might have just been because we were Black.
Exactly.
Right? But today, you support local artists that too might not be on a stage. And that's anybody local, right?
Yes.
Where like I've seen
34K.
34K.
Yeah.
But I literally just saw her play, and then I was in here, and I was like, oh my gosh, she's performing at the Carver.
Yep.
One of our very own favorites, Robert Carter, who is like, has his eyes, he's like, that Carver is gonna be mine, you know? And at the end of the day, I'm like, but it can be.
Yeah.
They're there to support. That's one of the things that's so special about it. I mean, yeah, you can go down to the Majestic and try to rent it out if you want to.
Yeah.
But it makes it almost like an impossible task. This here it's almost like the ice breaking. It's the cliff jump. And then you cliff jump and you have support around you, and then you're successful, and then you find yourself at the Majestic or the AT&T Center years later, and you can turn around and say, I remember when the Carver gave me my chance.
Yeah, well, I think that's important. Yeah, you hit it spot on.
Yeah.
So we, sometimes, and I can get a little salty about it sometimes, but artists that we've introduced to San Antonio, and then they do go on to play places like the Majestic or other venues. But that's the beauty of this place is, we not only are local artists, but that's also national and internationally touring
Absolutely.
artists. I
Yes,
mean,
it is.
Alvin Ailey, which of course everyone knows Alvin Ailey Dance Company, and they're revered. Well, the first time they came to San Antonio, it was because the Carver brought them to San Antonio.
You actually have brought several artists in the last like 5 or 6 years, and I was like, who is that? And now they rocking and rolling.
Yeah.
So yes, I absolutely, a little bit of salt, but I agree.
Yeah, that's good. But I
It's
think
good salt,
that's I'm like, just remember us when,
Give us a shout out when you're on that big stage.
When you're on that
like,
big
for
stage.
real, yeah.
And they do. We stay in touch with a lot of the artists that we've presented over the years. We'll go see them when they come to other venues.
Beautiful, yes.
And ultimately, at the end of the day, that's what you want, right? Especially for artists of color, you want them to have the same opportunities and access to these bigger venues as other artists. So it's always a little bittersweet to move on when I'm like, oh, you're too big for us now. But we know that we had a hand in helping to build that audience here in San Antonio.
And especially for San Antonio knowledge, period, because where else are you going to get it, when you're talking about music and dance, that might be something traditionally you hear from a radio station or a DJ. They bring in new music and artists. So like you definitely have showed me a lot, me personally, a lot of new great entertainment and art. So I love it. And I also sit here today as one of the people who that they're taking a chance on. that the Carvers said, we see what you're doing, and it's a good thing for the community. And so they are hosting our 4th annual Black Business Week 2024. And so our ribbon cutting will be here in the Joe Long Theater with the White House Initiative for Black Americans. Then we're gonna move to the Little Carver for presentations during the week. And then we come back to the Joe Long Theater to end it off with a fashion and hair show and a few other surprises for you. So I know that when I was thinking about venues, it was like, okay, we've been to hotels, we've been here, we've been there. I'm like, the White House Initiative is huge. It's actually, when I talk to them, they're like, oh no, we've never been to San Antonio with this and this. Oh, so that means we're history making.
Always.
So I'm so excited. And so then the conversation came up, and actually it wasn't a conversation. It was, to me, God who said, Carver, the Carver. And I thought, my first thought, but can we fill all those seats? And the Lord said, of course you can. And so when we came and we talked, and you were like, you know what, we can help. And she didn't just say, we can help this, how much it costs or whatever. She said, ooh, we've got something on that day, let me see. Rearranged their schedules, rearranged what they were doing to be able to fit us in. So I'll be doing stuff for Cassandra for the next 10 years. Y'all just let me know.
You've always been such a huge supporter.
I just want to give it back, but I appreciate that. And I'm excited because it goes along with what we're doing. We're looking at the state of Black business on August 1st. We're listening to the White House Initiative for Black Americans that literally has $850 million attached to this initiative. And that's for all Americans, not just entrepreneurs or business owners. And then we're also celebrating National Black Business Month, and then Black Business Week in a historically founded space that was for the Black community. So I just think it all fits in great. And then just to add to the thing, one of the ladies in the GSA is actually from San Antonio, and she had her wedding reception in the Little Carver.
Yeah.
How do you put that puzzle together any better?
It was meant to be. It was meant to be. Yeah.
So I'm super excited. I hope you guys are excited.
No, we're thrilled. Yeah.
To have all this, letting the community know that the doors are open. We're going to get out there and make sure that our young folks are here to see their opportunities, and that everybody knows that there are opportunities and a space for you to grow your family and your business. And that's also the Carvers. So during the week of Black Business Week, on Thursday, August 8th, we will be right back here also hearing the announcements for 2024.
Yeah, we're so excited.
Yes.
We'll be announcing the new season, the full lineup, and making some other special announcements about new initiatives and things that'll be coming up in the new year.
Good.
So it's always one of our favorite days of the year. It's kind of the not just the kickoff, but really a celebration of everything that's gotten us to that moment. And unlike a lot of other venues that have transitioned from these in-person announcements, and it takes work.
It does.
We still really like gathering with community, so we're always
COVID
looking
was hard,
forward
right?
to.
Because we couldn't be around folks, and that was when y'all had started for a few years. You were doing the 5th Fridays. We got to bring. You don't have those right now.
We have not come back fully since COVID, but it is on the.
We got to bring
agenda.
those back.
I know they
those
were fun.
Yeah. 5th Friday, you have music and vendors and all that kind of
it's
good
just a big
stuff.
block party.
Big block party.
Like I said, we love being with the community. So anything we can do to just get people back together is we're always down for that.
So you already know, you're looking for a venue for your next event. You're looking for someone to help and support what you're doing, because again, the Joe Long is the theater. We seat 650 in here, if I'm not mistaken. So they have a box office that's joined with Ticketmaster. So everything runs really smoothly, and prices, I'm just saying, you're not going to find it anywhere around the
That's
city.
a fact, yeah.
To be able to really produce your dream and make it feasible, right? And then you have the Little Carver as well, which is great for meetings, receptions.
Really, you dream it, you can do it. I mean, we call it a black box space because it's just adaptable. So you can have performances, which we do, but you can also have retreats, you can have meetings. Obviously weddings and wedding receptions.
And we did one of our the One Awards was also in the Little Carver 1 year. So it is very, very, like you said, versatile. You can do dinner in there, or you can do a theater seating. Seats about 160,
about
170, 50. So you've got that going. So just know that there's options out there. A lot of folks are always looking for venues. Don't forget about the one at 226 North Hackberry, okay? Thank you, Cassandra, for your time. You need us, you know we're here, and we'll be back on August 8th to hear the lineup for 2024. We'll see you guys soon.
Gonna nothing but that Maui Wowie, you know you smell the aroma. Don't need English class, Shakespeare with my sonnets. Breaking tracks and wrecking suckers claiming that I ain't focused.